GDC 2016 has come to a close, and while we're sad to see it go, at least it's left us with some good news. Early on in the week, Sony held a press conference to discuss PlayStation VR, its proprietary virtual reality headset coming out later this year. During the event, current CEO and Group President Andrew House took the stage to announce two very important, and up until now very unknown, pieces of information. House told the audience that you can expect to own a PlayStation VR in October of this year, and that the system would run you $399, 399 euros, or 349 pounds. While that $399 might come as a bit of a shock, it's actually well under the cost of the competition. Oculus Rift retails for $599, and HTC Vive, the virtual reality headset we gave our Best in Show award to at CES, will go for $799 when it comes out in April. The event also gave us our first look at PlayStation VR's final hardware. The headset will feature a 5.7-inch OLED screen with a 920 by 1080 resolution, which comes out to 960 by 1080 per eye. Inside each box, you'll find a headset, a small black audio processing box, a power cable, earphones, a dual HDMI connector that links the headset to the PS4, a standard HDMI cable, and a micro USB cable. Now here's the bad news. While PlayStation VR requires a PlayStation 4 camera to work, you won't find one inside the box. Similarly, while some games only require a DualShock 4 controller that most gamers already own, others need a set of PlayStation Move controllers. If you want everything in one set, you should consider picking up the PlayStation VR Launch Day Bundle, which includes everything from the PlayStation VR box, plus 2 Move controllers and a camera. Once you have your hardware pre-ordered, the next logical step will be to acquire some games. Sony's GDC event gave us some major insight into what titles will be available on day one. To that end, you can expect over 50 games available at retail stores and via digital downloads by the end of the year. These titles will range from short experiences like Playroom VR, a short demo that will come for free with every headset, to full-blown AAA games like E-Valkyrie, Riggs Mechanized Combat, and Rez Infinite. Some existing titles on PlayStation 4 will also get VR support like Drive Club. Of course, you can play all of your games from a virtual couch, thanks to a new feature called Cinematic Mode that Sony also announced earlier this week. Finally, the PlayStation event afforded us one last look at the system before launch. Overall, I was impressed with the technology, even if one or two of the games on display didn't quite live up to the experience I expected. Games on display varied in levity, from casual playroom experiences to hyper-intense combat and even a horror game for added measure. The system and its specs lend itself to more light-hearted fare rather than fast-paced, high-intensity ones, and while the latter is passable, those types of games are just not as good on PlayStation VR as they are on Oculus Rift or HTC Vive. For now, PlayStation VR is an excellent, if not absolutely perfect experience that will be fun to show off to friends or immerse yourself in for half-hour increments. It might not be the best for long-term use, but that's a decision we can revisit again when PlayStation VR comes out later this year. For more news, reviews, features, and everything on PlayStation VR, head to techradar.com.